Hey guys, what's going on? Thought I'd make a little video here just for everyone. One thing I've been wondering for a while, and I've just found it in the Steam page, is just what all of the damage types do to each of the bugs in game. So I've just found out what they do, and I think it may be helpful for you guys. So, first of all, of the cold or frostbite. So cold slows and freezes bugs, and that's about it. So in the base DRG game, any enemy that is frozen takes significantly more damage, but in DRG Survivor, they just freeze or slow down, which, you know, bit of a weird difference, but yeah, that's what they do. So the cryo cannon or the cryo bomb or the drones that fly around that apply a cryo effect, all they do is slow bugs down and freeze them from time to time. Moving on to fire. So fire makes a continuous damage over time or dot effect, where if anything gets caught on fire, once the fire from your weapon has stopped hitting the enemy, they'll constantly be on fire, burning away. So this could be the driller's crisper flamethrower. There's a fire drone that runs around a bit. Some weapons can have upgrades that are attached fire element. So all they do is add a little bit of extra fire damage. Fire DOT is terrible. Fire dot, it's really bad. The damage is not there. So if you can avoid the fire aspect of weapons, go ahead. The crisper flamethrower is really bad. Moving on to acid or acidic weapons. What acid does is it increases the damage taken from everything else from enemies. So if an enemy is hit by the drone that applies a corrosive effect, or the Scout's Nashenka Bolt Shark that applies acid and static to enemies, or the driller's corrosive sludge gun, all of those things apply an acidic effect, which just means they just take a bit more damage. The enemies take more damage from everything. So it's just a debuff for bugs, which sounds like it's pretty much the best. Moving on to plasma. I've only ever seen plasma on engineers' LMG platform turrets. I have not seen, and maybe the plasma burster. Other than that, I haven't seen plasma bullets anywhere else, and that is in the engineer's build. So plasma bullets bounce across walls a limited amount of time and actually pierce through bugs. So if you ever play engineer and you chuck on plasma bullets, the bullets will pierce through enemies, deal a little bit less damage and bounce off walls, but they do bounce a limited number of times before they disappear. So it is pretty darn good. It doesn't really apply any debuffs other than it can pierce and do, you know, continuous significant damage, which is pretty awesome. Moving on from that, we've got the electricity or static damage. So what's static? Static is similar to plasma, but like a lot worse. But it does have one upside, which is kind of cool. So the electricity or static effect just bounces between bugs. So, you know, it's similar to plasma, but instead of piercing, it just jumps across. Not too great, you know, it's kind of meh. However, what static does is it increases the bug's chance to get a critical hit by 10%, I think, or it's a really small factor. So any bug hit that currently has a static effect on them has an increased chance to take critical damage. So again, it's chance based. I hate chance based because, you know, it doesn't guarantee it. But a few classes, few guns have like electricity built or static built into them, so you could use that to get builds that just pump out critical hit chances and critical hit damage. Could be interesting. And finally, there's Overkill damage, which so far it's only seen on the sharpshooter class from the Scout. And all this means is when bugs take a significant amount of chance, they'll explode and deal shrapnel damage around them. The way to get overkill damage is I think you need to get either 100% critical hit, or you just need to do damage that is above their max health pool. So like the Praetorians have a ginormous health pool, so they probably won't ever really do that. But small bugs like slashers, just the regular glyphid grunts or the glyphid swarmers, they have a really small health pool. So if you can like get a critical hit that does double their health, they should blow up around them. So that's just all these damage types. Personally, I have to say plasma is the best, but it's a shame that it's limited to so far only 2 weapons, I think, which is engineers' platform guns and the plasma burster. Probably plasma and the acidic are probably the 2 best things you'll come across. I'm gonna leave it here, guys. See you around.